Why is a math book always unhappy? Because it's got lots of problems. Year 10 PPE 2018 tropical rainforest questions, 2 really nice straightforward ones and 1 absolute horror show for us to go through in this video. Starting with this one, nice easy question, 2 marker to put the labels in the right place. Honestly, I say it a lot that geography is common sense. I mean, one of the options there in bold is forest floor. I mean, if you're getting that in the wrong place, then, you know, I'm struggling a little bit. So forest floor in the right place. Even thereafter that, I'm hoping common sense will get you there. One of the words there is emergence. If you emerge out of something, it means you break out of something. The emergent layer is that layer of the rainforest that's at the top. It's broken out through the canopy. So emergent, you emerge out, is right at the top. You can actually see the trees have broken out on the diagram. That there therefore leaves you with canopy and under canopy. Job done. Right then. Figure 8, your pie charts here. Pie charts, I mean, I don't know if we need a maths lesson here, but imagine them like a cake, where if you look at 1980, 75% of the cake, give or take, is rainforest, 25% is deforested area. Job done. What's your question here? Complete the pie chart for 2020. Well, you've got a blank pie chart and it's even put the numbers on for you, which isn't particularly difficult. Rainforest 35%. Well, if I draw a line on for you, there you go, job done. However, that will not get you the mark at the moment. Hopefully, looking at this video, you can see what Mr. Thoms has foolishly not put on his pie chart yet, which means he wouldn't get any marks. He has not completed the colouring in. He has not used the key. If I were to colour in rainforest in dark black here, and then leave this bit a lighter colour, it would actually let you off if you left it white, to be honest, then you would get 1 whole mark. When you consider that this mark has been given for drawing a line from 35 to a centre point and then colouring it in a darker colour, it does identify why some of your parents say that GCSEs have become a lot easier. 1 mark, there you go. Right then, bit of a tricky one. Some of you struggled on this one. Let's go through, identify the keywords of the question. Firstly, suggest. We've had a few of these in this PPE. What suggest means, remember, you've got to come up with something. The rate of deforestation, how fast trees are cut down. Why does that vary between different countries? So what we need to consider here is, why would some countries cut down more of the rainforest faster than other countries, and why would some countries cut down less? If you're thinking about the Solomon Islands, your case study example, hopefully one of the things that pops into your head at this point is going, oh yeah, they do sustainable logging now. They're trying to conserve the rainforest. So reason number 1 there could be some countries are conserving or trying to maintain their rainforest. That's all you need to write. That literally answers the question as to why some countries cut down more. I mean, if you want to be really safe, you could say some countries have put conservation methods in place, so cut down less trees. Done. Another reason, thinking of the Solomon Islands, is some countries, like the Solomon Islands, have been offered debt relief to stop cutting down trees. That means they cut down less trees. Job done. Sometimes there are some loads of other reasons to think about. It's just, why would you cut down trees? Well, I tell you, if you've got a growing population, you need to build more houses, you've got to cut down more trees. Job done. If you find minerals, gold, silver, cobalt, whatever it might be, underneath where the trees are, you're going to cut down more trees to get it out. Done. If you look at your rainforest is next to a river and you go, I'll tell you what, we could build a big dam here, have a hydroelectric power plant, you're going to cut down more trees. If you've got it, you cut it down. If you don't, you cut down less. Really, this question, there's so many different options that you can go for to explain why countries cut down more or less rainforest. You just have to make sure you answer the question. Nice, easy question. Now then, from the nice easy ones to the horror show, this is the hardest GCSE question I've seen in a very, very long time as a teacher. Studying figure 9, so there's your figure 9, it's the nutrient cycle. Let's go through this question. What we've got to do, we've got to explain, so we've got to give reasons why. We've got to use that so what rule. There it is. Sorry, the box didn't come up in time there. Figure 9, you've got to use figure 9. You've got to put it in your answer. Figure 9 is going to be in this answer. why this is an example of nature's recycling system. It is the nutrient cycling. We need to identify why it's nature's recycling system. So every time going through this question, we've got to make sure we're linking back to this idea of recycling and the fact it's a natural system. Now then, 6 marker, general concept here is to go for 2 peels with case study specifics. That now is going to be very, very, very difficult because we've got to use a 9, but we've got to give our specifics relating to the nutrient cycle. Very, very, very tricky question this. What I've done for you is I've written my model answer for this. I want you to have a little brief read through this one. By all means, use it for your green and purple pens. Come and talk through a bit, any of it you're not too sure about. But the concept here is you've just got to use those terms that you picked up in GCSE biology. We want to be seeing a talk through of the system to prove it's natural, obviously, but I want to see those specific things like decomposers, earthworms, soluble nutrients, nitrates and phosphates, osmosis, and essentially all you're doing really here is using the so what rule to go through this model. So we take it in turn. There it is completely natural. There's no artificial elements, no man-made elements. Decomposers such as earthworms, yeah, they break down dead organic matter, they break it into nutrients that can be used by trees through osmosis. The example there, nitrates and phosphates. That therefore means you have more biomass growth. Now, inevitably, those trees, those leaves get broken off. It might be, for example, in the rainforest, monkeys swinging from branches might break some of the leaves off. Or in a woodland in the UK in winter, trees will shed their leaves. Actually, they shed them in autumn, but they will fall off the tree to ensure that the tree itself doesn't freeze. So what that means is you do have a leaf litter on the ground. A leaf litter on the ground simply means that now there is something on the ground, organic matter, that can be decomposed again. That therefore fuels future plant growth. What we've now managed to do with that explanation is to essentially go through the actual cycle itself in the middle. Biomass to litter to soil, and that concept there is the explanation of how it's natural, because we haven't explained or haven't mentioned any artificial, any human elements to this at all. Okay. The second point here is a bit more complicated, where we're trying to prove it's a system because it's open. It's got inputs from rainfall and from weathering, and it's got outputs as well. The fact that there's no human beings required to modify or maintain it, as proven by the fact there's tropical rainforests around the world today that have grown using this cycle, proves that it is a natural cycle for recycling nutrients, both within this system and also adjoining systems as well. It's a very, very complicated question. It's one that, if I'm being honest, I would be very surprised if it was a 6 marker when the exams themselves have almost been figured out after the first few years. This would make far more sense to be a 4 mark question rather than a 6 mark question. But if you do get this as a 6 mark question, worst case scenario, you try and get some specifics in. What we call that is name dropping. You just literally drop in mahogany tree, you drop in tropical rainforest, you drop in deciduous woodland, anything at all that just gives the examiner that impression that we're being specific. Very, very, very difficult question. It is one that I'm sure your classroom teacher will go through with you in class. Hopefully this model answer will be useful as well though. Any questions, you know where to find me in H7 or H8 or wherever my room is. Actually you don't know where to find me, which is the irony of that sentence. Come and find me if you want to talk through any of this question.